Hello, welcome to Raymond Castile's basement of horror. Today we're going to look at Soma Monsters. That's going to create a lot of confusion with the YouTube search engine because everyone's going to be looking for video game monsters and they're going to find this instead. So if you came here looking for disgusting looking video game creatures and instead you found disgusting looking me, I'm sorry. You've come to the wrong place. But, you know, hey, you're here. Why not stick around? You might just like it. Probably not, but give it a try. Maybe you'll pick up a new hobby. So the Soma monsters that we're going to talk about are not related to a video game. They are Halloween monsters. That's why we're doing it for Halloween. They are Halloween monsters. Let's get this off, if we can. There we go. All right. Okay. Ooh, there's a lot of Halloween monsters, I tell you. A whole lot of Halloween monsters. Remember these guys, the Bugmen? Same box. So let's put these over here. So in case a cat jumps up here, he won't sit on them, I hope. He might just sit on them anyway. And yeah, we'll take these out of their packages for this. You see, I've got my white gloves. Nah, my hands aren't scratched up really. They're healing. But I get a lot of feedback on those gloves. Some people like them and some people think they're stupid. So if it gets a reaction, maybe I should keep wearing them. Okay. Now, while I'm doing this, some people are saying, hey, wait a minute. Weren't you supposed to talk about the O-Lantern family? Yes. Today was going to be O-Lanterns. But that has been postponed. Kind of like all the movies that were supposed to come out in 2020. They're all getting postponed with good reason. And likewise, the O-Lantern episode has been postponed with good reason. I did shoot the episode. As usual, it was one of those 2-hour monstrosities. And when I looked at it, I thought, you know, this just doesn't cut it. This episode is a mess. It is a hot mess. And it's too chaotic, and Billy was up here tearing everything apart. Not the pumpkins. You thankfully didn't tear that pumpkin apart, but he was knocking things over, eating the microphone, and I was, I don't know, I was a bit on edge, and I discovered that I was missing one of the pumpkins. I thought, no. I'm not going to do an episode and not show you all the pumpkins. And there was some information I didn't have and some images I didn't have permission to use, so I thought I'm going to do this right. So I scrapped the episode and I contacted one of the preeminent collectors of O-Lantern and asked him for permission to use some photos and asked him some information. And he was gracious enough to say yes. In fact, he said he will take new pictures just for me. That's good. I appreciate that. So that'll make the episode better. And also I acquired the pumpkin I was missing. I don't know if the one I was missing is somewhere in the basement in a box, and I just don't know where it is. Or, I used to give away pumpkins now and then as gifts. So I might have given him away as a gift and didn't realize it was my last one. That's okay, that's fine. But I acquired another one, so he's on his way. So when he arrives and the new photos arrive from this generous collector, we'll reshoot the old lantern episode, and second time will be the charm, and I'll get it down a little tighter, and it'll be better. And I'll be watching out for Billy to make sure he doesn't topple over the set. He's loose and about. I'm sure you'll see him at some point. Okay, so these are the Halloween monsters. There they are. Halloween monster. You can see right there it says Halloween monster. I'm not making it up. They're Halloween monsters, especially for Halloween. It's got the bat and everything. And I guess it's like a haunted house with some more bats. And then you see, now, if anything says Halloween, it's a creature like this. Yes, sirree. When I think of good old-fashioned Halloween, no, I don't think of Wicked Witch or anything. No. I think of something like this, right? Doesn't everybody? No? Okay, well, neither do I. But if it says he's a Halloween monster, then by golly, he's a Halloween monster. So this guy is, I guess he's a tree creature. And here's what's on the back. There's nothing on the back, just a barcode. And it has a Walmart price sticker printed on it, $2.97. And it says manufactured by Walmart Stores, Inc., Bentonville, Arkansas, 72716, made in China. There's the Walmart information on the back. He's got movable arms and legs. Let's see if there's any information up here. For ages 4 and up. Warning, contains small parts which may be hazardous to children under 3 years of age. Well, I don't see any small parts in there. But it looks like his head and his shoulders and his hips are posable. So there's a tree monster. There he is. Let's get that reflection out of there, if we can. There's the tree monster. He's pretty cool. He looks like a kaiju. He's pretty neat. I can't really see if he's picking up on the camera or not. Okay, now I can see. Yeah, he's neat. So that's the tree monster. This looks like a lava monster. Oh, he's unpunched. That's nice. This is let's show the whole card. There's a lava monster, or a fire monster. And I do know a little bit more about the origin of these monsters and what they are, but we'll talk about that later. Let's get a little closer there. And I can never tell whether it's in focus or not. I hope it's in focus. He's cute. I like him. I like all of them. And there's his whole body. There's is the lava fire monster. This, you know, he's kind of a, no, I was going to say he's a rock monster. This one's a rock monster. This is like a mud monster or something. Yeah, he's like some kind of mud monster. And I think this guy, yeah, I don't want to give you misinformation. I think he might have been like a premium. In addition to being packaged like this, he might have been packaged as a premium for a promotion, but I don't know if that's real or fantasy thing. You know, people can say in the comments whether they know for sure, because I've read some debate whether that's a real thing or not. And I don't want to say it's real if I don't know. But I've seen like a promotional ad that ties this guy into a product. But I don't know if it's genuine or if it's a fan-made thing. There's his body. He's really cute. I like him a lot. So these Halloween monsters, and they really are Halloween-y when you think about it, because they're very cute and very childlike. They're not really scary. They're fun. They're smiling. Well, no, he's not smiling, but like the tree monster's got a big goofy smile, and the lava monster's going rah, and this mud monster's kind of sad. So they're not. And this guy, he's got like a cartoony, threatening face. This is the rock monster. So again, with the gloves, some people like the gloves and some people don't. Originally, I wore them out of necessity because my hands were all scarred up from my cat. But the scars are pretty much healed. Now I'm just wearing them to please the people that like them and to annoy the people who don't like them. Here's the rock monster. He's cute, and he's got a slightly more detailed body, I think, with these jagged rocks. And they've all got the same thing on the back. So here are the Halloween monsters. And I bought these at Walmart back in the day. This was mid-1990s. I don't remember the exact year, but it was mid-1990s, and it was in the Halloween section in October, the holiday Halloween section, not in the toy department. And they were hanging there on the peg hook, and I don't even know if they were $2.97 or was this $2.90? Yeah. Or if they were marked down from that. That might have been like $1 each or something like that. But they were cheap. And I said, you know, for that price, you can't go wrong. They were cute. They were cheap. So I picked out the best ones on the shelf and I bought a set. Up there's Billy. Now I can't let Billy have his way with these because Billy, sweet, because even though I only paid $3 at most, $3 each for them, they now sell for $400 or $500 each. So you're looking at, I don't know, gosh, what is this? Like about $1,600 to $2,000 for this set of 4. That's a lot of money. Thank goodness I don't have to spend it because I got them already for $12. So this is called Soma Monsters. Oh, Billy, if you're going to come up, come up. Either come up or stay down. Don't mess with the micro. Billy likes to chew on the mic cables and tug them and everything. Okay. So those, even though it says made by Walmart, they are actually reissues of a line called Monster Man. Let me get this out of here. Maybe I should just leave it in. Oh, this is getting stuck. This is really good tape. Yikes. That's some industrial quality tape. So this is Monster Man. So those are reissues of this set called... Oh my gosh! Oh boy. Billy just about pulled the whole thing off. Okay. Just gave my toy a good whack. Okay, so these are not made by any special company. Well, no, I take that back. I take that back. So these are reportedly 1986, but I don't know if it says 1986 anywhere. I don't think it does. Unless it's really, really, really small. I can't. Yeah, I can't make that out, even with a magnifying glass. But they have a Woolworth logo on them. And it says, distributed by F.W. Woolworth Company, New York, New York, made in China. So the reissues are from Walmart, and these originals are from Woolworth. So this is a Soma Monster Man. He looks familiar, doesn't he? This is the original from 1986, and then those reissues, they're roughly a decade later. I don't remember what year they are exactly. I think they're earlier than 96, but how early, I don't remember. I don't remember what year I saw them at the store. But let's just say, like approximately a decade later. These are Soma Monster Man, and they made, Billy's trying to jump up there again. They made all the same, well, the original line, the Soma Monster Man, had the same 4 characters as the Halloween monsters, but the original line also had a bird monster and a reptile monster that was not reissued as a Halloween monster. So the Halloween monster set has 4. What are you doing, Billy? The Halloween monster has 4 characters. The rock, the lava, the mud, and the tree. And the Soma Monster Man has 6, those same 4, plus bird monster and reptile monster. And you can see the other, well, you can see the characters, you see the Birdman up there. You see, yeah, and also you see the reptile. So you see the Birdman and the reptile right there. And then down below are the other 2. There's the tree and the mud monster. And obviously these cards are much fancier than the Halloween monster cards. It's the same sculpt, but these glow in the dark. the Halloween monsters do not glow in the dark. Also, these Monster Man figures are squishy. You can squeeze them. The Halloween monsters, maybe the heads are squeezable, maybe the limbs are squeezable, I don't know, but the torsos are not. I hope I don't have that backward. I don't think I do. Yeah, these are the squeezy ones, the squishy ones. The Monster Man is squishy. The Halloween monsters have a rigid body made of a different material. And it looks to me like the limbs on the Halloween monster are probably rigid as well, but I don't know. I've never had a Halloween monster out of the package. I've seen Monster Man out of the package. You're going to see one in a minute, but not Halloween monster. But it's my understanding that Halloween monster is rigid, except maybe the head, maybe the limbs, I don't know, but the torso is rigid. And Monster Man is squishy all over. He's made of a pliable material. So here they are. Here's the two characters. So you can see they're painted differently. Obviously this is glow in the dark, this isn't. Or, you know, they're not exactly the same skull, but the end result looks very different. Different materials, different paint. And obviously very different card. And I think there's a size difference. Am I imagining? Yeah. The Halloween monster is a little bit bigger. Let me see if there's any other difference in the sculpt. No, I don't think so. Well, I don't know. The back of the Soma version, there's a, you'll never see this on camera. Take my word for it, that the Halloween monster has like a bump on the head. No, am I wrong? It looks like the Halloween monster has like pointy bumps on the back of its head, and the Monster Man doesn't, or doesn't have the same configuration. I mean, it's hard to tell. It's the back of the head, but let's see if I can see any other differences. No, not really. Everything else looks like it's the same. This is the first time these have been out of those bags in a long time. So every time I hear the plastic creak, I'm like, gosh, I'm afraid the bubble's just going to fall off. Yeah, let's see. I don't know if it's even possible for this to show up on camera, but if you can see, there's like a little point at the bottom of this version's head. There's a little spiky point down there. And it's really hard to see, but it's not on there. I don't think you can see it on the camera. It's a hard angle to get. Wow, this bubble is not attached very well. It's kind of, at the factory, it's kind of scrunched and right there. Every time I look at these things, like, I cringe. It's like, it seems like my toys just disintegrate before my eyes. Okay, I got the sniffles. Hope it's not COVID. Let's see here. Okay, so here's the bird monster. So this is a Monster Man. It's not a Halloween monster, it's a Monster Man. Soma Monster Man. This is the bird monster. And he glows in the dark. Here we can actually see the back of this guy. You can see him from different angles. You can't when he's on a card. He's cute. And these do have a nice kind of, almost like a Japanese kaiju style. You know, I can imagine them maybe in a Japanese TV show from the 70s, or maybe not a Toho monster movie, but maybe a lower budget, kind of like a wannabe not Toho monster movie. And he is squishy. Yep, they are squishy. And the limbs are bendy. Everything about him is flexible. I like that. I like that he's soft and you kind of squish him. And I don't think the Halloween monsters are like that. I don't know about the head and the arms and the legs, but the torso, I can tell just looking at it, it's made of a rigid plastic. Oh, here comes trouble. So, let's put these things back before we have kitty trouble. There he goes. Now, originally, I really hadn't planned on showing you these this year. I thought I would do it next year, maybe. In the meantime, get a few more of the original Monster Man. I don't know if I could get the whole set, but maybe I could get one or two more, and then let you see them. But I need a replacement for that Lantern episode that got delayed. So this is it. This was simple enough because there's not that many characters in the set. And really not a whole lot to say about them. I mean, they're a cool set, but not a lot you can say. So about the origin, I do know a little bit about where they came from. Those character designs are actually knockoffs of the Inhumanoids. If you're familiar with the Inhumanoids, and we'll have an episode on the Inhumanoids one of these days. But the Inhumanoids have a tree monster. They have a rock monster. They don't have a mud monster, but they have a character that's lava, and he's molten lava on the inside and hardened, cool lava on the outside. So if you take him apart, inside there's another figure, and he's all fiery, molten lava, and then on the outside he looks kind of like a rock. It's cooled, hardened lava on the outside. So there's trees and fire monsters and all kinds of stuff in the Inhumanoids. There isn't really a reptilian creature. I mean, I wouldn't consider any of them reptilian. There isn't really a bird creature. There isn't really a reptilian creature that I can think of in the Inhumanoids. But definitely there's trees and rocks and fire and not mud, but lumpy. You know, the hardened lava is kind of like a lumpy looking. It's kind of mud-like. So it's generally theorized that the Soma Monster Man series was a knockoff of the Inhumanoids, and the Inhumanoids did come out around that time in the 80s, the mid-80s. That was the time of the Inhumanoids series. And I used to have a complete Inhumanoids collection. I had big ones, little ones, the vehicles, the humans, and I sold all of it. But then I bought the 3 big ones in boxes, so I still have those. I reacquired those, and we'll do a show on the Inhumanoids one of these days. I know Retro Blasting, if I've got the right show, I think that's it, did part 1 on the Inhumanoids, and I don't know if they've done part 2 yet, but it looked like their show was much more detailed than anything I would do. So you can watch that to find out about the Inhumanoids. But we'll look at the Inhumanoids on this show, not this season, maybe next season. Maybe I'll get a few more that I don't have and be able to give a more complete presentation. But that's where they came from. The Soma Monster Men came from. They were knockoffs of the Inhumanoids. And another thing about Soma is a company that's made a lot of rack toys and knockoff toys. That's kind of what they're known for. They're not a high-grade toy company. They make dollar store kind of junk toys. But one of the things that makes them important in toy history is they are the company that manufactured the Azrak Hamway International Universal Studios Super Monsters. So, like this creature, he was actually, even though he was sold by AHI, he was actually made by Soma. Soma made this guy. Soma made all the Azrak Hamway monsters. And because so AHI contracted Soma to manufacture the monsters in Hong Kong for Azrak Hamway. And because of that, that's why we have so many different versions of the AIs, and why they kept selling them even after Azrak Hamway stopped ordering them. Soma kept making them. So you have AIs with packages that don't say AHI. And I want to tell you where this information comes from. So if you're a toy collector, an action figure collector, you've seen this by now, I would think. And if you've been living in a cave, you haven't seen it. If you're not living in a cave, in 2020, it's probably best to live in a cave. So I would recommend that you find a cave and take the rest of 2020 off and stay in a cave. But if that's not possible, then you've probably seen this. This is a new magazine, Toy Ventures. Do you like the way I had to turn it around to see the title? This is a new magazine. What's it called? Toy Ventures. No, I knew it was Toy Ventures. It's Toy Ventures, published by Plaid Stallions. That's Brian Heiler's website, and he does Mego Museum, and he has a YouTube channel with a YouTube series called Toy Ventures. And he assembled the A-team of AHI, the A-team of Azrak Hamway. I'm sure if Brian watches this, he'll be irritated that I'm saying AHI instead of AHI. But my feelings on that. I don't care what's correct. I say AHI. Consider it a nickname. A beloved nickname for a beloved old company. So he assembled this team of collectors, team of AHI collecting experts. Oh gosh, I thought I would read some of them, but there's a lot of them. There's quite a few. But I've got friends in this group. So I was one of the team. I helped, I wouldn't say put it together, Brian put it together, but I helped part of the brain trust that assembled the information and the photos in the AHI section for this book. So if you look at it, like here, so just any page. So there's some of my toys pictured there, or toys. I might not own them anymore, but I owned them when I took the pictures. Let's see, what else we got here? I mean, just lots of, this is what's in there. Tons of, it doesn't do any good to see a picture of me reading a book. You want to see what's in the book. There's lots of stuff here. Yeah, I think most, if not all of the ones on this 2-page spread belong to me, or did belong to me when I took the pictures. They may not belong to me anymore. Yeah. Now that shipping box, that's not mine. That was never mine. But a lot of stuff in here is mine. Not all of it, obviously. I think all the ones on the bottom, all the bottom ones are mine, or were mine on this page. Not the top ones. And none of the loose ones. So there's a lot of loose. Finding the loose figures was like the biggest challenge, I think. I mean, I don't want to put words in Brian's mouth, but from my observation, that seemed like that was one of the biggest challenges. Just as someone involved in the process, it appeared to me that rounding up all the loose ones of every variation was one of the more daunting things. So none of the loose ones are mine. But that's kind of impressive to see all the loose variations. I could tell you a lot of work went into this. Not from me. I wouldn't say I put a lot of work into it, but a lot of work was put into it. A lot of work was put into it. Mr. Heiler did all the layout. I mean, he wrote it. I mean, he had editors, I think, but he wrote it and did the layout. So it's a labor of love on his part. And I was happy to be one of the people. And there's a lot of people. Here's all the people. I don't know if this will show up on camera. It's kind of small. See that? It's right there. See the people. And I know some people in this list. Let's see here. Who do I know? Quite a few. There's Shannon Stewart, Matt J. Cox. When I say know, who are my, like, not just people I know, my friends, I'd say. Shannon, Matt, Andrew Williams. You've heard his name on the show before. There's quite a few people here. And I recognize a lot of the names. I know Mr. Stewart, Shannon Stewart, was particularly a lot of help. He was very involved. He was kind of Brian's right-hand man in putting it together. So it was in the process of putting this together in that brain trust that the information about Soma came to light. That Soma is actually the company that manufactured the AHIs. They manufactured them for Azraq Hamway. And and it's got catalog pages. So, and I'm not the one who found out about Soma. That was Brian and a contact who used to work at Azraq Hamway. So yeah, but that is one of the bits of information that's in this magazine. So if you want to know more about Azraq Hamway International and the Super Monsters, this is the definitive guide at this time. I don't know if there'll ever be a more definitive one. I mean, I could see how there could be something with a little more meat on the bones as far as information the write-up, perhaps, but in terms of cataloging every variant, every figure variant, every card variant, and getting all the data together, I don't know how it could be any more definitive than this. This is pretty authoritative. So, and this is the first edition of what he hopes will be an ongoing magazine series. Now, I used to, and I want to say, as far as I know, as of this recording, you can still buy this. How much is it? Does it say? $10.99. $10.99. Plaidstallions.com. I assume that's where you would go to buy it. I didn't have to pay. Well, no, I did pay. I got a free one, but I also, through the crowdfunding campaign, I bought one as well. I'll put a link in the description to where you can go to buy one of these. As of this recording, I don't think it's sold out. I think it's still available. Hopefully. Otherwise, people who want to buy it will be like, why'd you tell us about that? We can't buy it. I think it's still available. So, one of these days, I might do an episode just about my involvement with magazines and books and things on toy collecting, because in the 90s, I did a lot of stuff like that. I used to write articles for Lenny Lee's Action Figure News and Toy Review. That was it was monthly for a while. It was a monthly magazine. I think it was quarterly. I don't know if it was quarterly then monthly, or if it was monthly and throttled down to quarterly. I don't know which, but at some point it was monthly. And I wrote some monster articles for that. And as far as I know, those were the first time anyone had really... This would be 1993. 1993. This was the first time anyone in print had ever tried to do essentially what Brian is doing in that magazine, only I was more broad. I didn't just do AHIs. I was trying to do all monster toys, all kinds of monster toys. So I did one about action figures. I did a 2-part one about action figures. I did one about jigglers, but that one was never printed. I wrote it, but it was never printed. Because the publisher thought jigglers and action figures didn't go together. Jigglers are like rubber toys. I did one about the Telco Motionettes. I don't know what else. But I also used to sort of consult with Tomart. I never wrote anything for their magazine, but most of their books had me as a contributor in some way. And so at least the first hardcover books that they put out, almost all the monster toys, like the 70s monster toys, were mine, that you saw pictured in those books. Later, then I became less involved and other people became more involved, but the early ones, pretty much all the monster stuff was mine. And, the information about the monster stuff, a lot of that came from me. So I was very involved with some of their early books. I don't know if they had a magazine yet. I don't know. I don't know if the books came first and then they had the magazine, or if they were concurrent. But they put out a lot of toy books. And really for years, they kept using my photos that I submitted. And the first several times they would give me credit in the book, but then they started using them and not giving me credit, and I didn't like that. I think I kind of burned a bridge at that point. There's a moth in here, and Billy is going to hunt it. He is. I'm sure he will leap through the air. Oh, there he goes. Oh, gosh. He's going to destroy the basement. Okay. He caught it. Oh gosh. We got Mutual Omaha's Wild Kingdom over here. I think he's eating it. Yeah. Did he eat it? No, he's playing with it. Okay. Oh boy. Well, anyway. So, I used to be involved with a lot of stuff like that. Magazines and books and things. Back in the 90s. And then I did... And then I did my toy video, In Love with Toys, toy documentary. I'm watching my cat run all over the place, chasing this dying moth. He had it, and I thought he was eating it, but then it got away. I think he's got it in his mouth. Yep, he's got it in his mouth. Oh boy. It's dead. That's a dead moth. Oh, no, it's moving again. It's fluttering. It's on its back, I think. It's just flying a little bit over the ground like this. And he's like patting it. Poor moth. Oh boy. So anyway, I'm a little nostalgic for the days of the old toy magazines. I used to get Toy Shop magazine every month, and then he went to like twice a month. It just got ridiculous after a while. It felt like it was coming out every other day. But that was a newsprint magazine, and it used to be, there was no eBay, there was no buying and selling online. If you wanted to buy toys or sell toys, you had to get Toy Shop magazine. And you had to, as soon as it came in, people would get overnight subscriptions, and they would get all the good stuff, and everyone else got it a week or two later. And as soon as it came in, you went through every ad, just poured through every line, and there would be some little, like a little classified ad and some tiny little blurry black and white picture this big, and you would buy a toy just based on that. And there was no PayPal. You had to go get a money order, and you had to send that in and wait for it to get there, wait for them to cash it, wait for them to decide to send it over. And the standard back then was 30 days. They had 30 days to send it to you. If you didn't get it in 30 days, then it was a problem. But if it was just 2 or 3 weeks, you didn't say, hey, where's my toy? They'd say, it's only been a couple of weeks. It hasn't even been a month yet. And then you'd get this thing that you saw in the little tiny black and white, little grainy ad, a little photo, this thing you needed a magnifying glass to see. And finally, we would arrive at your house. And condition, if it was good enough, it was good enough. There was no way you could judge condition by like up to the level of modern standards, you couldn't judge condition. Just from the description, and no way could you like look at the corners and say, oh, it's got a bent corner over here, it's got this little ding over there. There's none of that. If it was good enough, it was good enough. Unless there was a major problem. Oh, he's chewing it. Yeah, Billy's chewing the moth. It's fluttering around, he's picking it up. He's chewing it, and he's spitting out, and it flutters around a bit, and he goes back down, chews it, spits it out. He's standing looking at me, putting his paw on this fluttering thing, and looking at me. He's chewing it some more. That is a resilient moth if it can survive this cat attack. It's still twitching. He's chewing and chewing and chewing and still twitching. Oh, gosh. Oh, he has a slow, miserable death. Oh, now Billy's like baring his fangs. Like that. He's a mighty hunter. He's the king of the jungle. Whew. So anyway, I'm nostalgic about those old magazines and things, and those old days of physical print media. I was a newspaper reporter for 15 years, so that's kind of in my blood. Aren't you glad you tuned in? People who came here looking for Soma monster video game stuff, aren't you glad you stayed to watch this video? Aren't you glad? So, as I was saying, it's kind of cool. That magazine is like a throwback to the 90s magazines that I used to work on. Well, I was going to say about my toy video, In Love with Toys. I'm preparing a special 25th anniversary edition of In Love with Toys. I'm having it remastered, and it'll finally look as good as it can look for a standard definition documentary shot in the 90s. It was shot in 1995. And when that's finished, I will upload that 25th anniversary edition to this channel. I'll record a new intro and a new outro. And hopefully the outro will include a little panel discussion with some of the collectors who were in the original video 25 years ago. And we'll have a kind of where are they now discussion about where their lives have taken them. You know, are they still collecting? What's happened with their collecting hobby? So that is something that will be coming in the future, sometime between now and Christmas. Probably sooner than that. I mean, I don't know if it'll be this month. It might be in October, but certainly by Thanksgiving, I expect to have that ready and uploaded. So if you've ever watched In Love with Toys, the video that's like divided into parts, you'll find on my channel. You know, it looks terrible and it sounds, you know, it's almost unwatchable because, as I'll say in the introduction, it was digitized from a VHS tape. It was a commercial VHS tape that was sold in stores, and I had no copy of my own documentary, so I had to buy a used VHS tape of my own documentary, and it was well used and had already been watched several times. And I think I paid $75 or more to get it. This was some years after the thing had been out and had its day and was done. And I wanted a copy of my own film, and I had to buy it off eBay. It was terrible shape. The audio is horrible. So it looks bad, sounds bad. So this, I hope, will be a revelation in terms of how it looks and how it sounds. I hope. Haven't seen or heard it yet. The production facility has it right now, and it's working on it. But I think I should get the file in the next 24 hours. And we'll see what it looks like and what it sounds like. And then you'll be able to see and hear it properly for what it's worth. Okay, I guess that's it. This rambled on a bit, so this is a replacement episode for the O-Lantern Family program. That one will be much better. And hopefully that'll be perhaps it will be the definitive video about the O-Lantern Family. Although there's a couple of good ones out there already, so I don't know. But it won't be a bad episode about the O-Lantern Family Pumpkin series from Todd Masters, Pumpkin Productions. So that will probably be the next video, but I said that last time. But this time, I mean it. And what else will we look at? We'll look at blow molds, Halloween blow molds after that. And that'll probably take us to Halloween. Billy's looking at me. And be on the lookout for the giveaway video. That'll be coming soon. I was hoping Billy would hop up here again, but he's not going to do it. So I guess it's time to sign out. Can't wait any longer, Billy. I waited for you. I rambled for 20 minutes, but you didn't come up here. Well, maybe next time. Okay. You saw him at the beginning. All right. That's it. Have a happy Halloween. Have a happy October. Do some fun October stuff. You know, whatever you can with COVID out there. I found some ways to have some Halloween fun. I have a little circle of friends it's like my little COVID circle that I don't socialize with anyone else, but I have my little handful, like a half dozen people that in a limited way I socialize with. So we're finding things to do in the coronavirus that we're living in right now. Trying to find a way to salvage October and Halloween. You know, do the best you can. Try to enjoy the Halloween season the best you can. Okay, that's the end. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got something out of it. Until next time, the one who dies with the most toys is dead.